Alright, the next green rank recap we're going to go through is primarily going to be how to beat Josie. So this is going to basically be all about how to beat Josie. And the reason I'm doing this is because I've had a few people on YouTube ask me how to beat Josie, and you know, people send me messages, tips and tricks how to beat Josie on like Instagram and things like that. So I feel like, okay, let's just focus this one on Josie, since I did play Josie when I was playing Gimmicks in his walkthrough. I was a little shocked, honestly, because my first thought was, when I got some of these messages, honestly, it was basically 𝐂𝐍𝐄𝐂𝐓, King, and Paul out of the characters I come across the most, followed right behind by like 𝐿𝐈𝐓𝐇, Law, Noctis, AK, and Jin. So I guess I would assume I would have gotten questions about how to beat those characters first, but maybe those characters are so popular you guys have actually labbed them. I don't know. Also, this is how to beat Josie in the green ranks. So this is my experience of like common strings I've seen Josie players do in my walkthroughs, and I've played maybe like 3 or 4 Josies, but they have done very similar strings, or pretty much the same common strings. So I will give you guys some tips and tricks on how to actually beat that. This is definitely not how to beat Josie at any level. Of course, you can take this knowledge to a higher level if they're using the strings, but keep in mind, once you reach a certain level and you both are basically the same level of knowledge check, it turns into how to beat the player, not how to beat the character. Taking the strengths and weaknesses of the characters that you play versus the strengths and weaknesses of the characters that the player use, and then, you know, on top of that, kind of finding the common methods, and then it becomes like a mind game. But it's not how to beat the character as much at a higher level as how to beat the player. The most common string I've seen Josie's players do in the green ranks is her 3-3 string, which comes out in 13 frames. It is a mid-high string, -1 on block, knocks down on hit. This is not a natural combo, and that is probably the most important thing I want you to take from what I'm about to tell you. It is a natural counter hit combo, which a good Josie player will land if you're pressing buttons, simply because it comes out in 13 frames. But since it's not a natural combo, you can duck the second hit. It is a mid-high string, which means when you block the mid, you can duck the high and launch your opponent. Half of the Josie players I've played in the green ranks only do 3-3. You need to duck and launch this string. You need to make them pay for this string because it's only -1 on block. So the frames are not bad whatsoever for your opponent. Okay, you need to duck and launch this. Now, the other half, mix it up with 3-2. And if you get hit by the 2, based on its mid, if you get hit by the 2, it's +5. So they have some good pressure there. That being said, 3-2 is -12 on block. So if they choose to go for 3-2, which is, you know, technically the better option than getting ducked and launched, you can punish them with a 12 frame punish, or 11 frame punish, or a 10 frame punish. Something that I also want you guys to be aware of here, and this is also very important, you don't take chip damage in Tekken. This isn't Mortal Kombat. You don't take chip damage. So if you block 3-3 or you block 3-2, you're in a good position, because no matter what, you have plus frames. Obviously, if you have +12, you want to take advantage of that and punish your opponent. But even if you just block 3-3, you're at +1. So you're more advantageous than your opponent. Something else I want you to be aware of, and this is more high level, and I'm only bringing this up because I had one Josie player do this, which kind of caught me off guard. And I do this at the high level, you know, like my Emperor, Tekken King, Tekken God, whatever, the people I play in higher ranks. What I do sometimes is when I toss out 3-3, I check to see when my opponent blocks that, what they try to do afterwards. And if they do like a fast mid attack, like a 13 frame down forward 1 sometimes, which you would think is a good attack, I'll just do 1-2-2 by the wall, particularly by the wall, because I want plus frames and to actually keep the pressure going. But her 1-2-2 comes out in 10 frames, so 3-3 is -1, so that would make it come out in 11 frames, which is still really fast. And I like collect my +9, and then I'll just keep my pressure going. That's very rare. I've only seen one Josie player do that. I just want you to be aware that if they do that, and you notice it's a common flowchart, just block the 1-2-2 and punish it. It's very punishable on block. I talked about this in my Josie Green Ranks walkthrough. I think it's like -13 on block or something like that, or even, it might even be -14. So just block it and punish it. Or if they collect the hit the first time, just don't press any buttons, because you are at -9 and they are at +9. Next string we're going to talk about is Josie's down 3-4 entering her switch stance. Again, this is another string that is not a natural combo. It does come out in I-16. It is +11 on block. So if you don't duck this string, because it's not a natural combo, you will eat the +11 frames on block, and you will allow Josie to effectively enter her switch stance to do a 50-50 mix-up or some type of pressure there. Since this is not a natural combo, duck this string. And you're seeing the theme here with duck this string with Josie. Okay, This is a natural counter hit combo though. So if you land this on counter hit, you have to basically deal with the pressure of the switch stance mix up. This is one of those strings that people do a lot in the green ranks simply because it's a low starter. But once you hit the yellow ranks, it starts to die down and usually it's completely gone by the orange ranks because so many people know to duck this string and launch it. This is probably one of the worst ways for Josie to enter her switch stance. You will typically see people do her down forward 4 because it's a fast I-14 frame mid that lets you get into it pretty easily that way. The next common thing I come across with Josie players when I do my green rank walkthroughs is her down 4-3, which is a low attack that tech crouches, and that just means it goes under highs. It is I-26 plus 1 on hit, so advantageous on hit, and minus 13 on block. So it's definitely not safe on block, but it's not like snake edge, stagger, delay, hop kick on block either. So this will go through your block. Now, it being I-26, you probably feel like it should be reactable, and technically it is, especially offline, but I'm showing you a clip here of Pork Chop versus Jimmy J Tran, and just look at how many times he landed the down 4-3 in a row and Jimmy didn't actually react to it. And Jimmy J Tran is an amazing Tekken player. My point to say that is that Josie's a very momentum based character, and her pressure can be hard to deal with once she gets going. So don't feel bad if you can't react to this. Just, you know, keep practicing. It'll take time. She does have a follow-up to this, which is her down 4-3-2, which is a low into a mid. And if you block that, that is minus 12 on block. Extremely similar to her 3-2, almost identical in a whole lot of ways. So basically, if you block the 2 for her 3-2, it's minus 12. If you block the down 4-3-2 on block, it is also minus 12. And something I forgot to mention before is that when you do her 3-2, just like I'm showing you here with her down 4-3-2, you can cancel into her CD stance, and 3-2 can also cancel into her CD stance, which is her crouch dash stance. I'm not going to crouch dash moves, that's just a whole nother video, and I probably will make a guide going over her crouch dash moves and crouch dash strings into her crouch dash stance and stuff like that, so we will talk about that later. If she lands her down 4-3 and she enters this with on hit, she will have plus frames and you probably will have to eat the mix up. If she does her down 4-3, and I'm showing you here, and you block it and she enters her crouch dash stance, you can easily interrupt it. The mix up comes in is if she chooses to do down 4-3 into a crouch dash stance, or just do down 4-3-2 and she catches you with a 2 on counter hit. And if she catches you with a 2 on counter hit, she gets some guaranteed follow-up pressure or follow-up damage on top of pressure. And the last thing I'm going to talk about, or really just show you, is that for me, there are 3 attacks that Josie players I feel all have done to me while I was doing my green rank walkthrough, and that is her down 4-2 is one of them, and that is steppable to the left, and the other one is her butterfly kick, which I'll show you in a second. That is an amazing panic move, but again, it is also very steppable to the left. And the last one will be her forward 4-3, and that is very plus on block, but that's extremely linear, and that is very steppable to the left as well as steppable to the right. That pretty much ends this video. So that is the end of this Tekken 7 How to Beat Josie guide, or I guess you could say Tekken 7 How to Beat Josie green rank gimmicks, which is probably a little bit more accurate. Oh, also, I did do a Josie recap of when I did the green ranks walkthrough with Josie, and at the end of that green rank recap, there are some more additional information on how to deal with some of Josie gimmicks. If you guys like this content, please consider liking and subscribing. All support, as always, is greatly appreciated. Consider checking me out on Instagram. If you like the things you see over there, consider following me on Instagram. I have a lot of Tekken 7, Dead by Daylight, and Mortal Kombat artwork, discussion posts, and things like that. This is Acid Light. You guys take care.